Ladies and gentlemen, listen carefully, because what I'm about to tell you may be the one message that saves your life. There comes a time when you look in the mirror and don't even recognize the person staring back at you. The pain in your eyes, the weight in your chest, the silent scream inside your head that no one else can hear, it's all there. And in that moment, you realize you're not who you used to be, and worse, you're not who you're supposed to be. You've been broken, beaten, and bent by life. People betrayed you. Opportunities slipped through your hands. Dreams you once had turned into nightmares you don't even want to think about anymore. But deep down, somewhere beneath all that rubble, there's still a spark left inside you. That spark is proof you're not finished yet. That spark is why you're listening to this right now. And that spark, if you protect it, feed it, and fight for it, will rebuild you into something far stronger than you ever imagined. This speech is not for the weak. It's not for those who want to keep lying to themselves, blaming the world, or hiding behind excuses. This is for the warriors who are ready to rise from the ashes and rebuild themselves brick by brick, scar by scar, failure by failure. Because the truth is, no one's coming to save you. The world doesn't care about your tears, your pain, or your excuses. The only person who can rebuild you is you. Every champion, every legend, every person who ever did something great was broken at some point. Life tested them, life stripped them bare, and life will do the same to you. The question is not whether you will be broken. The question is whether you will stay broken. You see, most people never rise again. They fall, they cry, they complain, and then they stay down. They live in their misery, pointing fingers, waiting for someone else to fix them. But that's not you. If it was, you wouldn't be here listening to these words. The moment you hit rock bottom, life gives you two choices: stay there and rot, or stand up and rebuild. That's the test, and the truth is, rock bottom isn't your end, it's your foundation. It's the solid ground on which you can build the strongest version of yourself. Think about it. When everything is taken from you, money, relationships, status, comfort, what's left? You, just you, and that's where the rebuilding begins. Let me tell you something people don't like to hear. Pain is your best friend. Pain is the architect of the new you. Pain will force you to change in ways comfort never will. When you're comfortable, you settle. When you're comfortable, you stop growing. When you're comfortable, you die slowly without even realizing it. But pain wakes you up. Pain slaps you in the face and reminds you that life is real, and it's not going to hand you anything unless you fight for it. The scars you carry are not signs of weakness. They are blueprints. They show you where you were hurt, where you were broken, and where you need to be rebuilt. They remind you of battles you've already survived, and if you survived those, you can survive anything. Stop running from your pain. Stop numbing it with distractions, substances, or fake happiness. Sit with it, feel it, then use it. Channel it into the fire that will forge the rebuilt version of you. There comes a moment in every person's life when everything collapses, when the weight of the world feels unbearable, when you find yourself staring into the dark wondering if you'll ever climb out. This moment is what I call the breaking point. It's not a soft nudge from life. It's a brutal punch that knocks the air out of your lungs and leaves you questioning everything about yourself. At this point, people usually make one of two choices. They either surrender or they rise. And the truth is, most people surrender. They allow the breaking point to define them, to become the excuse they use for the rest of their lives. They'll say, "I could have been something, but then this happened." And they will carry that excuse like a badge of honor, when in reality, it's a chain that keeps them trapped. But the breaking point was never meant to end you. It was designed to introduce you to the real you. Think about it. When everything is easy, when money flows, when relationships are smooth, when health is perfect, who are you really? Anyone can smile when life is good. Anyone can claim strength when the storm hasn't touched them. But what happens when life rips away your comfort, when you lose the job, when the person you loved walks away, when the dream you chased for years shatters overnight? That's when the real character is revealed. The breaking point is life's way of stripping away illusions and showing you exactly who you are beneath the surface. The beautiful thing about being broken is that you now stand on the foundation of truth. No more lies, no more pretending, no more masks. Just you and the reality of what you must become if you want to rise again. The breaking point is not your enemy, it's your teacher. It's the moment where you stop living in fantasy and start facing reality. And here's the truth. Reality is tough. Reality is cold. Reality doesn't care about your feelings. But reality also respects strength. It rewards those who refuse to stay down, those who choose to get up and fight even when everything in them screams to quit. Every great man or woman you admire has faced their breaking point. It was the divorce, the bankruptcy, the rejection, the betrayal, the night they almost ended it all. But instead of giving up, they made a decision. They said, I refuse to let this define me. I will use this as fuel. I will use this pain as power. And that's what rebuilt them into greatness. You are no different. Your breaking point is not a signal to stop. It's a challenge to rise. It's not proof that you're weak. It's proof that you're alive. And as long as you're alive, you can rebuild. You can fight. You can transform. The breaking point is the birthplace of the strongest version of you. Pain is not something to run from. It's something to embrace, because pain is the architect that shapes the strongest version of you. Look back at every meaningful lesson in your life and ask yourself, did it come from comfort or from struggle? Did it come from the days you sat relaxed, laughing, doing nothing? Or did it come from the nights you couldn't sleep because of heartbreak? The mornings when you dragged yourself up after failure, the moments when life forced you to your knees and demanded you get back up. Every scar on your body, every scar on your soul has been a blueprint, marking out where you were once weak and forcing you to build strength there. The truth is, comfort is a slow death. When you're comfortable, you don't grow, you don't evolve, you don't become more. Comfort keeps you trapped in mediocrity, convincing you that this is all you're capable of. But pain strips away the illusion. Pain puts you face to face with your limits and asks, are you going to accept this, or are you going to fight through it? And when you choose to fight, when you choose to lean into the discomfort, that's when you expand. That's when your limits shatter and a new, more powerful version of you emerges. Most people avoid pain. They run to distractions, alcohol, drugs, fake relationships, endless entertainment, anything to numb themselves from the reality of what they feel inside. But the problem is, when you numb the pain, you also numb the growth. You're running from the very thing designed to build you. That's why the people who avoid pain never evolve. They stay stuck, the same broken version of themselves year after year. The truth is, your willingness to endure pain determines the size of your future. When life throws challenges at you, financial struggles, heartbreak, betrayal, failure, you can either cry about it or you can thank life for giving you the exact tools you need to rebuild, because every ounce of suffering you endure becomes raw material. Pain sharpens your mind. Pain hardens your spirit. Pain chisels away your weakness. Pain is the weight on the barbell that forces your muscles to grow stronger. Without it, you remain fragile, breakable, unprepared for the war life inevitably brings. I want you to reframe your relationship with pain. Instead of saying, why me? Say, try me. Instead of shrinking back when you're hurt, step forward into the fire and say, this is exactly what I need. The world belongs to those who can endure what others cannot. Success is reserved for those who can carry pain without breaking, who can use it as fuel instead of letting it consume them. So the next time life hurts you, remember this. Pain is not the enemy. Pain is the architect. It's designing you, shaping you, and preparing you for a version of yourself so strong, so unshakable, that one day you'll look back and thank the very struggles you once prayed to escape. Discipline is the single greatest weapon you will ever hold in your hands, because discipline is what builds. The new you. Motivation is temporary. It's a feeling, and feelings are weak. They come and go like the wind. One day you feel unstoppable, and the next you don't even want to get out of bed. If you build your life on motivation, you'll never get anywhere. But if you build your life on discipline, you'll win every single day, regardless of how you feel. Discipline is not glamorous, it's not fun, and most of the time it doesn't feel good. But discipline is the bricks with which you build the fortress of your new self. Every action you take is either building you or breaking you. When you hit snooze instead of getting up, that's a brick of weakness. When you skip the gym because you're tired, that's another brick of weakness. When you waste hours scrolling, drinking, distracting yourself, you're laying down weak bricks that build a fragile house ready to collapse the moment life tests it. But when you rise early, when you push yourself into the gym, when you choose work over distraction, focus over comfort, you are laying down bricks of strength. Day after day, those small decisions stack up, and before you know it, you've built an unbreakable structure around yourself. The reason discipline is so powerful is because it doesn't care about your feelings. Discipline doesn't negotiate. Discipline doesn't ask if you're tired or sad or unmotivated. It demands action. It demands consistency. And when you answer that demand, you begin to develop a relationship with yourself that cannot be broken. Confidence doesn't come from looking in the mirror and lying to yourself. Confidence comes from knowing that when you set a standard, you follow through no matter what. That inner respect, that inner trust, that's what makes you powerful. Discipline is also the ultimate equalizer. You don't need to be the smartest, the richest, or the most talented. You just need to be the most disciplined. Because discipline compounds. One disciplined day turns into a week turns into a month turns into a year, and after a year of relentless discipline, you won't even recognize yourself anymore. People will call you lucky, they'll call you gifted, they'll call you blessed, but you'll know the truth. You built it brick by brick through discipline. The path of discipline is lonely. Most people won't follow it because it's too hard. They want instant results, quick gratification, easy shortcuts. But shortcuts build weak foundations, and weak foundations always collapse. Discipline builds things that last. Discipline builds strength, builds wealth, builds respect, builds freedom. Discipline is what separates the man who says, "I wish," from the man who says, "I did." Every time you choose discipline, you are choosing to become the rebuilt you. Every action is a brick. Lay enough bricks, and soon you'll be living inside the fortress you built with your own hands. That fortress will protect you from weakness, from failure, from the storms of life. And when people ask how you did it, you'll tell them the truth. I built it with discipline. If you truly want to rebuild yourself, you must be willing to cut away the weakness. Weakness is not just laziness. It's every single thing in your life that holds you back, drags you down, and chains you to the person you no longer want to be. Weakness shows up as habits, as excuses, as toxic people, as fear, as comfort zones. And the harsh truth is this: you cannot build a strong version of yourself on a weak foundation. If you want to rise, something has to die. The old version of you must be destroyed. Most people fail not because they lack talent or intelligence, but because they are unwilling to let go of their old selves. They say they want to change, but they keep the same lazy habits, the same distractions, the same people who don't believe in them. They want the reward without paying the price, and so they stay stuck in the same cycle of mediocrity. Rebuilding requires sacrifice. You must be willing to cut ties with anything that weakens you, even if it hurts. Because nothing is more painful than living the rest of your life chained to weakness. Cutting away weakness is not glamorous. It's not a one-time decision. It's a daily battle. It's waking up and recognizing the parts of yourself that are holding you back and choosing to cut them out again and again. It's saying no when your body screams yes. It's walking away from people you've known for years because you know they are keeping you small. It's deleting the apps, shutting down the distractions, refusing the easy escape, and confronting life head on. Weakness dies through discipline, through sacrifice, through brutal honesty with yourself. The old you will fight to survive. It will whisper one more time, one more drink, one more lazy day, one more excuse. That voice is poison, and every time you listen to it, you give weakness power over you. But every time you say no, every time you cut it off, every time you choose strength over weakness, you grow. And the more you grow, the weaker that voice becomes, until one day it doesn't control you anymore. Cutting away weakness means facing the truth about who you are right now. It means admitting that you've been undisciplined, admitting that you've wasted time, admitting that you've allowed weakness to live inside you for far too long. That honesty is painful, but it's necessary, because the truth will set you free, but only if you're brave enough to face it. When you cut away weakness, you make room for strength. You make room for courage, for focus, for greatness. You cannot hold on to both. The old you and the rebuilt you cannot live in the same body. One of them has to go, and if you're serious about transformation, it better be the old you. Weakness is a disease. And the only cure is to cut it out before it kills the life you were meant to live. The greatest war you will ever fight is not against the world, not against society, not against your enemies. It is against yourself. Inside every human being lives a storm of fear, doubt, laziness, weakness, excuses, and self-sabotage. That storm doesn't need anyone else to destroy you because it is already inside of you, waiting for the moments when you are tired, when you are alone, when you feel like giving up. And if you do not learn to master the storm within, you will never master anything outside of you. People think success is about beating others, but the truth is, success is about beating yourself. The voice that tells you to quit halfway through. The feeling that tells you it's okay to skip just this one day. The urge that whispers you're not good enough, not smart enough, not capable enough. That storm is relentless, and it will never fully go away. You can't kill it, but you can control it. You can learn to ride the storm instead of letting it drown you. The rebuilt version of you doesn't silence the storm with words. You don't argue with your fears. You don't debate with your doubts. You silence them with action. When the storm screams that you can't do it, you prove it wrong by doing it anyway. When it tells you you're weak, you hit the gym and grow stronger. When it tells you you'll fail, you get back up after every failure until it has no choice but to respect you. That's how you win the battle inside. Not by hoping the storm disappears, but by becoming stronger than the storm itself. Every single day, the storm will test you. It will tempt you with comfort, seduce you with excuses, and lure you with the easy path. And most people will fall for it. That's why so few become great, because greatness requires enduring the storm without breaking. It requires standing tall when your mind screams at you to bend. It requires fighting battles no one else can see. Battles fought in silence. Battles fought in the dark. Battles where the only witness is you. The storm within can either destroy you or transform you. It depends on how you respond. If you run from it, it will chase you for the rest of your life and it will always win. But if you face it, if you step into the chaos and refuse to back down, you will discover a version of yourself so powerful, so unshakable, that the storm becomes fuel instead of fear. That's when you stop being controlled by weakness and start being driven by strength. Understand this. No external enemy can ever defeat you if you've already conquered the storm inside. Once you win that battle, you are unstoppable. The rebuilt you is not someone who has no storm. It's someone who has mastered it. And when you master the storm within, you can walk through any storm outside and remain unbreakable. Listen to me carefully. Your past does not define you, your mistakes do not imprison you, and your scars do not make you weak. They are proof that you survived, proof that you endured, and proof that you still have fight left in you. The rebuilt you is not some distant dream, it's a choice, a decision you make right here, right now. You've heard enough lies from yourself. You've said tomorrow too many times. You've let weakness win too many battles. But this moment is different. This is the line in the sand. The old you dies here. The excuses, the laziness, the fear, they don't walk out of this room with you. Only the warrior walks out. Only the rebuilt version of you walks out. Understand this. Life will test you again. Pain will come again. Storms will hit again, but now you know the truth. You are stronger than anything life throws at you. You don't run from the storm anymore. You walk into it, head held high, knowing you were built to endure it. Discipline, sacrifice, and relentless action will be your tools. Pain will be your architect. And every single day, brick by brick, decision by decision, you will build the unshakable version of yourself. One day, people will look at you and say, "How did he do it? How did she transform?" And you will smile because you'll know the answer. You rebuilt yourself when no one believed you could. That will be your legacy. Not that you never fell, but that you refused to stay down. So rise, rebuild, and never forget. Your story is just beginning. The world hasn't seen your strongest version yet.